Good evening. Greetings in your time zone, Mulishani. How are you? How's everybody? Ba William Wansa Mulishani. Mutozi twangi bakuluna. Amutahe, amuipize, molibi yabuti, mokala buti. Ba Aaron Banda Mulishani, Matthews Mwale, good to see you. Share, guys. Itenia Bantu. Welcome to Leadership and Politics on Monday. Share. I'll just play some music while we wait. Abantu afike nangu 50. Twalayamba. Banansi Mulishani. Chiten share. We have interesting topics today, guys. Share. Okay. Good evening. Happy Monday. Mulishani. Sound check. How are you? Mwemantu, mwarireni. How's everything? Share. Iteni abantu. Amubize batu shak makande kachenu. Kunani makande. Amubize batu. Ba Daniel Kalumba Mulishani Mudingahi Mobuga Buti Modibiya Buti. Let's get started real quick, guys. Thank you for joining me, Ubuntu Forum. We are a page for patriotic Zambians and advocating for a better Zambia to end poverty. Yes, so welcome everybody. Thanks for following. Share the page, tag your friends. Thank you so much. The video I did last week, the live has over almost 100,000 views, guys. That is big. So thank you everybody for watching that video and for sharing. Let's continue to share information. We are here to educate one another, share information, and also educate, share, and inform each other. And I also ask that if you come to this page, you come with respect. Let us respect each other's opinions. I am not a journalist, so don't expect me to be objective. I am a blogger. That being said, I am going to share my opinion and how I feel about whatever topics I am discussing. Zambia is a democratic country, so we have the freedom to express our opinions, thoughts, and we are also free to have to affiliate with a party of our choice. Yes. So the topics today, guys, we are talking about Brics mainly. We are talking about Brics. We'll also talk about the Goldgate scandal, the developing story there. And finally, the important thing today, my main focus will be about the elections in Zimbabwe. So chiten share. People, I know Mr. Chilukatayali is live. People, they are there watching. But share the page so that when people are free, they can watch later. And also follow my YouTube channel. If you have missed any of my presentations, they are there. Ubuntu Forum is there on YouTube, so you can catch up on the shows that you have missed. So we'll get started real quick. The first thing I want to talk about, I just wanted to mention that the president is out in the country and touring finally after 2 years. So our president is out touring the country and celebrating 2 years of a new dawn governance. I think that is a step in the right direction. So I thank the president for doing that. Although I can just say it is long overdue. The president should have toured the country right after his victory. The president has spent more time flying to foreign countries than visiting with people who gave him the mandate to rule the country. Otherwise, better late than never. The president is touring, so that's a good thing. So the next topic I want to talk about is the Brics. So stay tuned, guys. I'll talk about the Zimbabwe elections in the end. I have a few videos that I'm going to play from the Zimbabweans. Talking about HH and Nevers and also the SADC region. So stay tuned, guys. We are going to talk about the Zimbabwean elections last, and then I'm going to read the comments and try to respond so it can be interactive. Thank you everyone for joining. Keep sharing. We are at a point we are living in a lifetime where information is being shared in real time. So whatever is happening, we have access to information globally, and this has changed the dynamics of politics in the whole world. Yes, so that is a good thing to realize that social media has changed the dynamics of politics in the whole world, because information is being shared in real time. So since information is being shared in real time, it is taking away a lot from the politicians who tell lies, and from any dubious activities, they are being exposed in real time. So this is a time for politicians and any leaders to govern in truth, because if they are governing using lies or any underhand methods, they will be exposed. So I think, I just want to put it out there, because a lot of people, when I say something, they are like, oh, it's propaganda. You are far away from Zambia. Why are you saying this? Location is no longer a factor, guys. Location is no longer a factor because of social media. Everything happening in the world now is being shared in real time. So we have access to information that is happening in Shangombo. The same time you people in Lusaka have access to the information, I have access to that information wherever I am in the world. If something is happening in Chiengi, I have access to that same information. Whether I'm in China, India, Argentina, Alaska, South Pole, North Pole, information is being shared in real time. So it has changed the dynamics of the political scene in the whole world. Yes. which is a good thing. So I'm going to talk, my first topic is I'm talking about the BRICS. Yeah, so as we know, the BRICS, I'm not going to go in the details. We all know what BRICS is. And BRICS has admitted six new members. The original members of BRICS is Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. And we just had the summit, which has ended there in South Africa. We saw our president was there too. He attended, which is a good thing. I commend the president for attending the BRICS summit. But the BRICS summit admitted 6 new partners, and 2 of those new partners, members actually, is the right word. 2 of the new members of BRICS are African. So Egypt and Ethiopia have been admitted to the BRICS group. So this is big, guys. And then besides these 2 African countries, Egypt and Ethiopia, we have Saudi Arabia is also now a member of BRICS. Argentina is now a member of BRICS. Iran is now a member of BRICS. And United Emirates. This is big, guys. United Arab Emirates, commonly known as Dubai, this has joined BRICS. What does this mean? It means that now these 6 countries will join the other 5, so they are going to be 11. There are going to be 11 member countries of the BRICS. And these 11 member countries of the BRICS, they are changing the world order, guys. If into chinja mchalo, because these countries that just joined BRICS, they are the major producers of oil. And these countries in the new BRICS now, they will control 80% of the world's oil reserves. Research about this thing, it's on a public domain everywhere. Whatever I'm discussing here is public information. So the BRICS will control 80% of the world's oil. That's big. That is big, guys. So it's a new world order where we are seeing the power shift from the West, United States, the imperialist United States, Great Britain, Europe, power is shifting from there. This is big, guys. It is huge. So the new world order is changing, moving the power from the typical imperialists and the Western countries to the BRICS countries. And the main things that I want to discuss, to share, is that with the BRICS, one of the agendas of the BRICS is called de-dollarization, meaning stopping the use of dollar. One of the main agendas of BRICS is to de-dollarize, or stopping the use of the US dollar. Another agenda is industrialization of African countries. So industrialization of African countries, and then financing of members of these BRICS companies, especially poor African countries, financing them using development banks in these BRICS countries. What does that mean? De-dollarization means that now we will no longer, the member states of BRICS do not have to use a dollar to trade. And there are serious implications on the US dollar when countries who are members of this BRICS stop using the dollar to trade. And you know that the number one commodity that uses the number one commodity which the whole world desires is oil. And they use oil and they use dollar to trade in oil. So when they de-dollarize the trade of oil, it's going to have a serious impact on the Western economies. So everything right now is not set in stone. Things are shifting, there is a shift in power. It is coming, guys. There's no being in denial. We all have to be aware what is happening, read and research. So these countries in the BRICS, they will be controlling 80% of the world's oil. That's big. Industrialization, the BRICS group of countries is promising to industrialize African countries. What does that mean? It means that raw materials will be processed locally. They are willing to establish factories in Zambia or countries that are members of BRICS, establish factories, industries to process these raw materials locally. That will grow our economies, that will create jobs. So you see the difference between affiliating to the West and versus affiliating to the BRICS. BRICS is going to bring jobs. BRICS wants to industrialize African countries who will join them. But right now what's happening, Zambia is affiliated to the West and they are digging all the minerals out of the country and taking them out. Nothing is being processed in Zambia. But BRICS, if we join BRICS, countries that are going to join BRICS, they are going to be helped to industrialize, modernize everything, infrastructures, schools, build modern cities. Everything is coming to countries that are going to be affiliated to BRICS. And the financing will be within BRICS. Financing of loans or whatever monies will be within BRICS. And basically, BRICS wants to trade with the members or countries that will join them on fair trade principle. Yes, BRICS is trying to bring dignity to African countries. BRICS is trying to take African countries, help African countries develop through industrialization, through good loans, policies, and just changing the whole world order of African countries being treated as inferior. We have seen that dealing with the West, Africa has always been treated as inferior when we deal with the West. But the coming of BRICS is a game changer. BRICS is a game changer. They are coming, and already South Africa is one of the founding members of BRICS. So it's a game changer in that anyone who is going to work with BRICS will be an equal partner. So that is good news. So moving on, my next topic, I'm going to talk about the Goldgate scandal, the John Masoseji scandal. Yes, so we are all here, guys. We know, we have heard that we are all aware that the suspects, what is happening. We are all aware what is happening with the Goldgate scandal. So finally, the suspects have been charged with espionage. I can't even say that word. So the breaking news, we all know what is going on. We are going to talk about it. And I can't really talk about it because the matter is in court. So I'll just talk about two aspects of this case. The Goldgate scandal, I'll talk about two aspects. I'll talk about the letter from Makebi Zulu, who is the lawyer for Shadrach Kasanda, one of the accused in this Goldgate scandal. Yes. And then I'll talk about the discrimination of Zambians by our police departments. I'm going to talk about that. Yes, our Zambian who have jointly been charged with these foreign national suspects, there is some discrimination going on. So I'm going to talk about that as well. So let me start with the first thing I want to do is I want to read a letter from Makebi Zulu, who is the lawyer. Makebi Zulu is the lawyer for Shadrack Kasanda, one of the Zambian suspects who is charged with the Goldgate scandal, now has turned into espionage. So before I read this letter, let me just read the definition of espionage. Let me read the definition of espionage. Espionage, what is the definition? According to Oxford Dictionary. So espionage is the practice of spying or using spies, typically by governments, to obtain political and military information. So the case started from, it was a gold deal. They tried to buy gold. And now from there, it was, no, it wasn't gold. It was fake gold. It was copper plated or whatever it is. It wasn't gold. It was copper plated with gold. And now there is a serious charge of espionage or spying. I'll just use spying. Yes. So Mr. Kasanda is being, with the other people, have been jointly charged for spying. And I won't say much because the case is in court. So I think they appeared in court today. So let me go to read the letter. It's from Makebi Zulu, lawyers for Shadrack Kasanda. And he said, a subject, preferential treatment of foreign suspects and discriminatory treatment of our client, Shadrack Kasanda. In reference is made to the above captioned matter and your continued unfair treatment of our clients. It has come to our attention that suspects in this matter who were detained at Charleston Police Station were moved from Charleston Police holding cells and purportedly taken to Police Command Center, when in fact not. While our client and other Zambian suspects remain unlawfully unbearable conditions in detention in police cells, it has been made known to us that the suspects of foreign origin have been lodged in a luxury non-government lodge in Kalundu, a place not gazetted to hold suspects, despite having been charged and arrested. Have been lodged in a luxury at a non-government lodge in Kalundu, a place not gazetted to hold suspects, despite having been charged and arrested. They demand that you immediately desist from this unlawful and discriminatory preferential treatment of non-Zambian suspects while Zambian suspects languish in filthy police cells. You release all suspects on police bond or immediately present our client before court so we may apply for bail. So that is the letter from Makebi. Now, for me, I am a human rights activist. So immediately I see this letter, I am upset. I am just even upset to read this letter. And why am I upset to read this letter? I said I'm a human rights activist, and as a human rights activist, we advocate for equality before the law. Article number 1, according to the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, Article number 1, all human beings are born free and equal in dignity and in rights. So now you see, I have been posting things on my page about this same Goldgate scandal suspects. So I just want to say that I think the Zambian government, I don't know who's giving the orders, but this is just sad to me. It's just sad to read a letter that, you know, our government is breaking their own laws by favoring non-Zambians, giving favorable condition to non-Zambian. Where on earth? Where on earth? Because last week, Nari Berenge Nkarata Pano, Nari Berenge Nkarata, which came from a French lawyer demanding that those people release the foreign suspects abafunye jail because of the conditions. I am a Zambian jails. Mamona. So the Zambian government, they complied with that letter from the French lawyer. No kubula badi ama suspects babafunya. Ama suspects badi babafunya. Because if you remember that letter, it clearly stated that the rights of those foreign suspects were violated. They were holding them in inhumane conditions. Now, this is what we've been talking to say. Our Zambian detention cells, they are inhumane. The conditions in the Zambian detention cells, Muma police detention, the conditions are inhumane. It doesn't matter whether you are a foreigner or you are a local. We are all equal. If it's not good for a foreigner, it should not be good for Zambian. Why are we discriminating our own people? Why? Why are we discriminating against? Now, you know what? That's why these things are being exposed. Because Tulalanda don't say pano. Our local people there in Zambia, if you commit a crime, Amaseo's detention centers, they are pathetic. They are filthy, you know? So now, Mwakaka abantu coming to this matter here, Goldgate scandal. Abantu, they are jointly charged. But mwabula bambi mwabatwala muma VIP lodge, which is not even gazetted as a holding, police holding cell. Like, you tell me if there was a government that ever broke the laws of Zambia, this government is it. And the president is the commander-in-chief. So ever suminisha. Bahaka inde ni mo mweba suminisha ko bacha abantu mubafunye muma police cells mubatwale a location which is not even a gazetted place to hold prisoners. What if those people escape? Eh? And in Mwalimona, you know what happened? Bahaka inde baile ku France. Bahaka inde went to France when he signed that debt restructure thing. So Bahaka Inde is friends with Macron. Bahaka Inde was in France to sign that debt restructure. Now, this is me. Guys, we are all free to speculate and think. So immediately I saw that these guys have been moved to a VIP lodge. And then I started thinking, okay, these guys, they are Egyptian. And they engage a lawyer from France. Why didn't they engage a Egyptian lawyer? Munje Pushe, why they didn't engage an Egyptian lawyer? Why did these people who are jointly charged with Cassandra buy the ku France mukufanya lawyer wa ku France? Why? All these are questions which we should be asking ourselves. To say these people, they are African, they are Egyptians, but they went to France and engaged a French lawyer. And we know that President Hakainde Hichilema has close ties with Macron. When all of you are praising a Mwalesha na Mule celebrator at by HH has signed the debt restructuring, it happened in France. You see the ties here? The lawyer had to come from France and not from Egypt, And now all of a sudden, those suspects, they are in a VIP lodge. Meanwhile, our own son of the soil is languishing in a filthy cell. Same charge, akapatulula. It's a shame. It is a shame. Like us, we are in foreign land. Foreign lands. There is no way. No, Wapangomland was a foreigner. You'll be given the worst treatment. You'll be put in the worst holding cell. But in Zambia, we respect abantu besu. For me, this is my comment on this Goldgate scandal now. It's like mwamona tulamyeba siyawana alilandati uyu muntu alitemwa abantu ababutenkanda. Elo kuchachi tefili yonse nomba na mumono kubula ma prisoners ukubika mu VIP lodge. Is that in order? Shuwa mwe bantu nangu tapasoswa. Nangu tapasoswa. Tulelanda, Zambia is a democracy. I am free to say my opinion. Na iwowe nekapange channel yobe wamje kulanda opinion yobe. Elo ngata utemwe nefyo ndelanda kutu afumafye pa page. Ngozwa page itawo wita musa. Tawo wita. Kutina henda ambano nato yandi. Please, you can exit gracefully. But we'll be here, we'll be talking. And okay, if I feel they are breaking the law, everything is in black and white. We'll be here, we'll be talking. We Zambians need to be treated with dignity and respect in our own country. Even if you are a criminal, you need to be treated with dignity and respect. Not only talking for the current situation here, Kwa Shadrach. All Zambians who are in current police custody, in detention centers, they live in deplorable, inhumane conditions. A lot of people have spoken how people, they don't even have sleeping room, Muma police detention cells. People don't have a sleeping room. Kui minina, if you have takudi. So, bayawe nama Egyptian, pan na bakwata malaini ku France, inkalata, balemba ke inkalata, not only removing them from the detention, putting them in a VIP lodge. Go waste your talk time elsewhere. So we are here, and we are here to condemn this action by the Zambian government of unlawfully discriminating and preferential treatment of jointly charged criminals. It's unlawful and it's illegal. And whoever made this decision will be answerable one day. You are committing a crime. Yes. Kuno kwa America inebanka kanimpango mlandu. Kutiwa yambika mu VIP. Where on earth? Mwari mona Trump ba ali ikitasarenda kuliko bamukakiri. He was treated as an ordinary citizen. So, abayama foreign nationals baria. Nga chako batu bari kita complaining. Nga mwari wami ate environment. Not putting them in a VIP lodge is out of order. It's unlawful. It doesn't matter whether you are a Congolese or whatever, all human beings. That's why, you know what? There were 1945, Elobachile established human rights. Because it's because some people feel they are superior. That's why the United Nations declared the human rights to say all human beings are equal. Because wakwisa. No, if you are a criminal, you are a criminal. It doesn't matter if you are from Mars or from Jupiter, you are a criminal. Chapwa. But the thing is, now we are looking at a local situation here. People, foreigners and local are jointly charged. And then the foreigners are given preferential treatment. The foreigners are put in VIP lodges, which is not even a gazetted place to hold the criminals. Ololande pali makeup yandi. Fiowe. We are not here to talk about my makeup. Whether even shiny, my voice is what matters. Subject, stop distracting. Stop distracting. Tulelanda penkalata yopo ilpa internet pa page ya ndiale mbele ba makebi zulu. Yes, it's there. Yeah. Uyu lepela abantu VIP treatment. Ulepela abantu VIP treatment. Will be answerable one day. The day of reckoning is coming. VIP, really a criminal? Hello, espionage, spying. Eh? Takuri netia wrong information. Imweme never pressing abana mipelo tuma mipela ma bundles pa muise mkula. You know what? It won't work. You can do propaganda if you are in opposition. If you are in government, you are expected to deliver. But you Donald, but President Hakainde Chilema, you are running government. And you cannot be preaching there. 2 weeks ago, when the president was at the press conference saying rule of law. Is this the rule of law? Giving us foreign suspects VIP treatment in a lodge? A rule of law. So I am moving on to the next topic, and the topic that I want to talk about is the Zimbabwe issue, Zimbabwe elections. We're gonna talk about this, and I won't say much about the Zimbabwe elections. I just want you to listen to these audios, because now I think I'll be talking less. I'll just be playing some audios so that you can call those people and tell them that they are lying. Yes. So I want to play this audio from Zimbabwe, and then I'll have a few comments. Actually, 2 audios from Zimbabwe about this election. Because Zimbabweans, they are attacking President Hakainde and Dr. Nevers Mumba and the SADC team which they sent to observe these elections. And before I proceed, I would like to congratulate ZANU-PF for winning the presidency. Zimbabwe is a country which has gone through a lot economically because of the sanctions which the West have declared on Zimbabwe. So Iliashidiaku Zimbabwe is a though you've seen how Zimbabweans have been finished and reduced to nothing. Mamona. So now I'm going to play this. Listen up.
Forgot? No. The problem is the Zambians. The leader of this SADC observation team was a Zambian by the name of Nevers Mumba. Nevers Mumba was sent by a president called Hichilema of Zambia. Hichilema of Zambia has got a very amazing relationship with the Americans, the British, and the Europeans who imposed the illegal sanctions on Zimbabwe. He became a billionaire at a time where he was valuing the assets of the Zambian government, parastatals, and he was selling them to these very same Western countries at a song, and they would give him kickbacks that allowed him to become the billionaire that he has become. He is the only president in the Southern African region that has allowed AFRICOM to have a military base that is going to use to attack every single country in Southern Africa if the United States chooses to do that. Not only that, he is also friends with Nelson Chamisa, and he's the one who gave the money to Nelson Chamisa for their campaign for this particular election. And that Zambian president is the one that sent Nevers to come and head the monitoring mission of SADC in Zimbabwe. That is a conflict of interest. In fact, Hichilema is invested in the Zimbabwean election because he put his money behind the opposition. And the question is, what did he expect to benefit? Right now, Hichilema is expecting loans from the United States because when he sold off government assets and the parastatals of Zambia, he left Zambia without any money. So Zambia has to rely on loans. And now it has taken too many loans that it can't survive. It's a highly indebted, poor country that now needs debt cancellation from the very same Americans and Europeans who are sitting on the boards of the multilateral lending institutions that need to cancel their loans for Zambia. They're the ones that have to give Zambia new loans. And they're the ones with the illegal sanctions to help the opposition to come into power, to turn Zimbabwe into another Zambia that's going to sell all its resources and land to these very same people. This is why a very key issue for SADC, which is illegal sanctions must go in Zimbabwe, has been ignored in its analysis of our elections, which clearly break democracy, clearly give an advantage to the opposition and allow the opposition to persecute civilians and to commit a crime against humanity. I also blame the government of Zimbabwe in that in the past 20.
Okay, so that is this guy is on TikTok, and then there's another video that I want you guys to watch. Just hold on.
Mr. Mutangwa, have not come yet from the head of the SADC Troika, who also happens to be Zambia's president. And that is who this SADC mission is going to send its final report to. Where I was going to with my question is that if SADC comes out and says these elections were neither free nor fair or credible, are you saying that Zimbabwe would easily walk away from SADC?
Well, look, Mr. Ishilema, he's got his own friends, and he came to the power through his own friends, and he decided to appoint a man who would decide to make controversy in Zimbabwe rather than observe elections, and once become part of the charade, of Western countries which always want to see Zimbabwean election as a transition away from ZANU-PF rule to some puppetry in the West. That is not going to happen in Zimbabwe, because the reason why there's been continued or persistent contestation is that the West would like to see the back of a national liberation movement out of power in Zimbabwe. And they expected the same thing eventually in South Africa. They will expect the same thing in Namibia. We know the game plan which is here. And I don't know whether Mr. Hichilema wants to become the new champion of Western neo-colonial interests in Southern Africa or otherwise. Because you are trying to make him and his head of observer, you are trying to make them as secretary generals, unelected secretary generals of SADC. We are a group of member states, and ultimately that's why the ANC felt that it would send its own observer mission also.
Are you suggesting that President Hichilema has some kind of agenda against Zimbabwe using the SADC structures?
Well, he needs to call his men to order, because the way the man is throwing his weight around on an issue of such importance to Zimbabwe and to the region, and becoming a superstar over an issue, of concern to elections in Zimbabwe. It shows that there is another agenda flying somewhere else. We are here to help constructively make this region peaceable. We want to build multiracial societies. We have always been sensitive to the historical realities where we emanate from, which of course the part of Mr. Hichilema is not part to, but all the other countries in the region are part to. So we know the issues at stake in Southern Africa.
We're not going to spend the night here.
Okay. So that is the thing. That is what is going on in Zimbabwe. I'll just read your comments, guys. It's a lot. Zambia was a hub of peace. Zambia, under the leadership of Kenneth Kaunda, we helped a lot of our neighbors as a haven for peace. We supported refugees from most of the countries, Zimbabwe, South Africa, Namibia. We were a peace haven for the region. And now things are turning, Things are turning. I'm not going to say much. You heard for yourself what the Zimbabweans are saying. And Zimbabwe has been through a lot, really. And I think we as Africans need to stand together and promote financial, economic independence of Africans. The actions of our president under the SADC and sending Barnabas Mumba there to behave the way he behaved is questionable. A lot of people, they have questioned the actions of Barnabas Mumba in Zimbabwe. They have been questioned locally and internationally. And I think it's just in order for me, this is my opinion, I think the president can come out and, condemn or say whatever he has to say about Barnabas Mumba's behavior, because Barnabas Mumba was sent there by the president. So we are expecting to hear the president comment on Barnabas Mumba's behavior in Zimbabwe, because he's the one who sent them there. So we have to set the record straight here. We have to know if the behavior of Barnabas Mumba was sanctioned by our president, Mr. HH, or Barnabas Mumba carried out his mission independently without an approval or a sanction of the SADC. Because if the president stays mute on this topic, it is going to raise tensions within the region. They are already talking about AFRICOM. They're already talking about the president's involvement and friendship with Western countries, forgetting our past. It's really mind-boggling to me, to say the level of friendship that our president has built with the West. He seemed to forget that all our misery as a country, as an African continent, was due to colonization of Africa by these Western countries. And now our president is there at the beck and call of these Western countries, to a point where the president is being accused of funding Chamisa. There's one of the presidential candidate who lost the election in Zimbabwe. We have heard that the Zimbabweans are accusing HH of funding Chamisa to win that election. Yes, so the cat is out in the bag. I think the president should do a damage control and clear his name in the region. Otherwise, it's not looking good. Tafile moneka bwino. Situation taile moneka bwino. Ngandela ndefya bupuba kuchiwa kumafe pa page hapa. There are over 1 million pages on social media. So why are you here? You are lost. You are lost. So what we are saying here is, if for Zambians, this is me now in closing, I'm going to read your comments. I'm just going to say that Zambians were a peaceful country. We have supported our neighbors. But now we are at a point where our neighbors are accusing our president of carrying out an agenda for the West, trying to meddle in an election. Donald Trump mirandwesha akwete Donald Trump nish for meddling in an election kuya kwa Atlanta. Efifine tulelanda ma human rights kuba so ama human rights yakula chitafi apply kufyalo fya basungu pantu Donald Trump bali mukaka for meddling in elections kwa Atlanta. But when we come here, ama human rights don't apply in Africa. Why? The same people, they are breaking their own laws. The president is the commander-in-chief. He's breaking the law. Who gave the order to take those foreign suspects, to take them in a VIP lodge? But president is the chairman of that whatever, SADC whatever. But mama neighbors kudia. But neighbors na we na bangushta interfere. in the national matters of the country. Milandu ba Trump bali bakaka. But Trump has been indicted. He's out on bail for trying to meddle in ama vote Kwantlanta Kulia. So but Nevers Mumba also, the Zimbabweans could take this case further. If the Zimbabweans have proof, they can take this case against Nevers Mumba to International Criminal Court for trying to meddle or swing an election. Milandu. Milandu. Comments, guys. Meddling, you know what? And the funny thing, guys, is like right now, not quite a case where our government is charging foreign nationals, including local nationals, for espionage or spying. The same government, now Muland, where it is charging foreign nationals and local people for espionage, spying, interfering. Mamona. Elo nomba abantu bamobene the same government batuma mission kuya ku Zimbabwe to meddle in the election process of Zimbabweans. So baneva sibalianga mwafati na babekata kulia kutimwa papa. Olo imina ndunga shaba konka fide bachileba baneva simumba kulia. Imina ndunga shaba konka. Because Vanevas was sent by HH, the president. So nomba kuya Vanevas filifio by HH takulia. Imina ndunga shaba konka baka chitashani. Because Zimbabweans never furwa. Any platform you go to, they are talking about this whole incident of Vanevas Mumba and HH. Now bafurwa Zimbabweans ningufuati even the president was on live talking about it. Making a statement about what Vanevas did, Kuria. And now the cat is out of the bag. We are also being told that, Chamisa was funded by HH. So, Iliashi na alikosa. Na alikosa Iliashi. Because at the same time, Muzambia not quite a Milan, where the purge being charged. Foreigners, they are charged for espionage. Elo nomba ba never say for by chile kulia. Nga baba charged with treason or something.
Good evening.
Good evening. Welcome. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. How are you?
Fine. And the floor is yours. You can go ahead.
Okay, yes, I've been forced to join your live stream.
You're welcome.
Yeah. Okay, so yeah, so my I don't know. Maybe my point is, I saw Mr. Chilufya Tayari also posting the same video that you have watched, the one that you are referring to.
Yeah.
Okay, so my point is, I think let's do a good research, because Mr. Mumba, what he said, that was the truth. Zimbabweans elections were very undemocratic, and that was the truth. And if you watched Zimbabwe's media, they said SADC for the first time has made a body decision, and the decision that the comment that Mr. Mumba made, that was a bold decision that stood on democracy. So the other guy that has made that comment, before we can go and talk about his words, we need to understand where is he coming from. Maybe it's just one of the cadres, because that analysis that he has given is not coming from an informed analysis. I'm telling you the truth. So if Fema Zambians, especially when they talk about our country, we go with their words, we start attacking HH. We are not helping ourselves as well. Because when Zimbabweans talks about us, let's also analyze the situation and then look at the true things that we can talk about it. I watched, there is one board journalist from Zimbabwe who made a very good comment. I don't know if you watched, where she said, for the first time, Sadiq has stood up and talked about something concrete when it comes to elections. Because most observers, when they come, they just say, no, the elections were free and fair. And when you look at the point Mr. Nevas Mumba raised, even the election body from Zimbabwe agreed to say, no, we made a mistake. There were lapses from here and there, but we are trying to electrify them, you know, which means he was right. So for one boy to come and just say, no, HH, just because that was bullshit. I mean, I can't believe the words that guy talked about. I don't know, Mama.
Oh, man, you know, this is the beauty of democracy. Is all I can say. It's the beauty of democracy. People can speak their opinion, the opinion, but you know, like when we hear such things being said about our presidents by foreigners, because right now Zambia is going through difficult times, Mamona. So
very true.
that it's easy for us to connect with such a person because we can say that the presidency of HH has not been the great. It's not been the greatest. There's a lot going on. So anyway, thank you. I appreciate your comment. We are here to agree and to disagree respectfully. You can go ahead, my comrade over there.
Okay. Hello, everyone.
Hey,
can you hear me now?
Yes, you are loud and clear. Go ahead.
Okay. I'm happy to join this platform, but I am in Zimbabwe. So I'm talking
that's
this
good. That's your friends. We watch
Zimbabweans.
Yes,
very good.
Can share. Yeah.
So what I'm getting here is attacks on HH, which is the president of Zambia. I don't think it's fair to I don't think it's fair to attack HH at the meantime. He's the chair of SADC, and Mumba was sent as a delegate, and he was on duty, and he did what SADC actually sent him to do. And whatever the findings, he reported on the findings, what he saw on the ground. He was leading a team. So what the team reported to him is what he reported. So
true.
So to say Mumba is wrong, he said something is HH is funding Nelson Chamisa, all those things. Those are blue lies. Just some of these statements are just being said as propaganda. You understand what we say here, right? Propaganda. Yeah. So it's not fair to blame HH. He sent a delegate as the head of state. He is the chairman of the SADC, and we respect SADC. And the Zimbabweans should respect the decisions. Should respect that report. Actually, our elections were not free and fair. Everything was not good. So it's actually SADC, we applaud SADC for the first time to stand with the Zimbabweans. The people
that's what I heard as well. That's what I heard from your media. That's what I heard exactly.
Yes, the people of Zimbabweans have spoken. They know what they want, who they want him to lead the countries, not what is happening right now. And now the situation, the problem now we have is if our neighbors start to condemn or fight Chamisa or the HH, who again is going to stand for the Zimbabweans? We need supporters who are going to support us. We did our best. We voted. So you see, these guys are using their own powers, trying to steal the election in the rogue way. You don't understand what they are doing right now. So it's not fair by any chance to blame the leadership of SADC, the leadership of EU. Right now, it's not all about that. It's all about the citizens of Zimbabwe. What do you think the citizens of Zimbabwe should do right now? We cannot go there. We can't go there to protest. Right now, the streets are closed. So where are we going to air our views if the subject should not can come out to say this is wrong, this is not correct? You understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I understand.
Yeah. So
Okay.
actually,
So
we
you are
need.
saying that the streets are closed right
Yeah,
now in Zimbabwe?
yeah. Police are
So there
everywhere,
is a
soldiers are
military
everywhere.
presence in the streets?
Exactly. So
Oh no, which town are you?
I'm still in Harare.
In Harare. Okay,
Yeah,
all
yeah.
right.
So it's not good. Actually, it's not good. They are thinking everywhere end times to citizens can come out to the streets, but now how are we going to express our views? How are we going to? We voted. Now you are saying you're stealing the election. What are we going to do right now? From now,
No,
Okay.
I understand you, my
our
brother. You
our
know,
hands are
madam,
tied up. Our hands are tied up. Everything. We can't do anything. Even Chamisa actually can't do anything. Even we go to the courts, you know that the courts are captured. Everything is captured.
no, I understand.
Hello?
You know, madam.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So
Let's give
Can
the
I,
floor to the other comrade there who just joined. Welcome.
let him
Yeah,
talk.
thank you so much. Thank you so much. Sorry, I beg to differ with you a little bit. And
Okay.
And
it is
are you
my
Zimbabwean or Zambian?
I'm Zambian.
Okay.
Yes. So it is my opinion anyway. So which is bound to people to oppose.
Yes.
One thing that I can't agree with you people. Me, at the moment, when I look at the kind of democracy that we have in Africa, to some countries, it is the one which is making us not to develop. And calling a Zimbabwean a foreigner, with me, it is not a good language at all. We need to get rid of this. When you look at these boundaries that we have, it was imposed on us by these colonialists so that we remain divided. Okay? So we cannot say we are foreigners in as much as we are doing this contribution and the like. How Mnangagwa, whatever that is happening in Zimbabwe, if it is affecting Zimbabwe, it is also affecting me, because we need to be looking at the bigger picture of the continent.
That's
and
true.
how we are going to unite. So one thing that I've observed, if you are following the president of Burkina Faso, this is now also my suspect could be in Zambia. When a president goes to State House, you guys, I can let's assure you, there are certain agreements that the president they have to follow that are still there. Look, when this young man in Burkina Faso did a coup, they found that uranium was only supposed to be sold to France. That's why they have gotten rid of France at the moment. They don't want France because of how people of Burkina Faso have been suffering for a long time of period. So even when we follow right now, there are certain things we might be here, Zambian, blaming HH, these are expensive, this. You don't know what is in that State House. You might be even shocked to find out that he has never made any single decision because we are still colonized. So at the moment, as we are speaking about the statement which came here, let us treat the Zimbabwean and the Zambians as one, because we are in Africa. Let us remove the word foreigner. Me, I don't like it.
Exactly.
That is just my contribution. But
Let
on the other,
just comment on what you have said, my brother. You said that you know, let us treat Africa, Zambian problems, Zimbabwean problems as one. Now we know that Zimbabwe has been under sanctions, you know. So keep in mind, Zimbabwe has been under sanctions, and then SADC comes in. SADC comes in, which is heavily supported by the West. You see where there is some kind of resistance.
Okay, I understand. Let me just comment.
Yes.
I understand. Let me just comment something.
Finish my statement. So Zimbabwe
finish.
has been through a lot under sanctions from the West. And then SADC comes in, which seems to be heavily sponsored by the West. Even if SADC is not sponsored by the West, the fact that our president is heavily inclined to the West. So it changed the dynamics of everything. This is where you see that these actions are coming in, because our president is affiliated to the West, and the West are the people who put sanctions on Zimbabwe. Zimbabwe is still suffering due to these same sanctions which have come from the West. And then our president, who is heavily affiliated to the West, sends a representative there to monitor elections. So you see, so keep that in mind. Keep that in mind, because let's not be superficial. These things, these problems, they are deep-rooted.
Yes, that's why from your statement, as for me at the moment, I'm still looking at the President HH and try now to understand the bigger picture. That's why I'm saying you might be blaming HH, but for these 2 years he has been in the office, you can be very shocked that he has never made any single decision, because there are certain things that are hidden from us, which is there in State House. Okay? It might be there because when you look at, let's be, truth be told, when you look at the vigor that the president had when in opposition and what is currently happening there, it is not normal. To me, sometimes certain things they are not, you know, these whites, they are very clever. And when you look at the countries now, look, Russia, China.
I've been asking that question to say the HH was in campaign is different. And there is neo-colonialism. These countries, they are still under neo-colonialism, you know?
Sure.
And Zambia is not an exception. And to solidify that fact, AFRICOM is there in Zambia right now.
Yes.
So let us think deeper. Let's not be shallow. These problems are deep.
Okay, so madam, sorry. Okay, so I'm getting what everyone is saying, and I'm trying to just analyze. Like the big man said, where he said you can be surprised that HH hasn't made any decision, my brother. What you are saying is true. I think I've been analyzing our president a bit. I'll give you one scenario, maybe two, that is happening, where you would see that our president has been in tough times making decisions. For example, during the time Kamara came, the vice president of America, okay? If HH was 100% a puppet to America, he could have not used words like in the presence of Kamara to say, when I'm in Washington, it doesn't mean that I'm against China. And when I'm in China, it doesn't mean I'm against America. He's trying to balance powers.
Let me correct you right there. Let me correct you. Actions speak louder than words.
Just wait.
You say this, actions speak louder than words. You can say anything, but your action matters.
Yes, I understand. Secondly, the second statement that I'm able to quote is during Brics Summit. During Brics Summit, what HH said was, we need to come up with a new financial order, which meant that he was opposing MIF. You understand? MIF, which is every funded, and that is a European thing. You get, so those statements. I think the time HH has been a president now, he has realized to say he can't do anything without America, and he can't do anything without China. He need to balance powers.
That's true.
Meaning you need to be one side a European, and you need to be one side a BRIC member.
No, it's not balancing powers. Zambia was non-affiliated. You know, it is the HH who went to the West and shan't going.
No, even now it is.
But how do you take this? Now HH is attending Brics Summit. How can you say?
He has, you know, he neglected to go to China. So there's pressure from Zambia. Zambia as a country, we are pressuring HH to go to China. China has better solutions than the IMF solutions.
Let me just take you back a little bit. When you look at Edgar Lungu while he was in State House, Edgar Lungu, even now, Edgar Lungu had a very good relationship with China and Russia. With our current president, it is now the West. You need to understand that. So
no.
Wait, no,
bro,
I'm telling you,
bro.
It is very true. My big man, listen. Remember the issue of IMF. Listen, remember the issue of IMF. Edgar Lungu, they failed to sign certain a condition that IMF imposed for them to get a loan. This issue of removing the subsidy from electricity, they were presented during PF and they refused to sign those things. When the UPNG came, they have signed. That's why they had to strip off the subsidy from the electricity thing, and you know, they said, okay, because in our campaign promises we had the free education system, so they got part of the money from there, funding the schools. Well, if you think properly, where are they getting the money for the same free education you're talking about? So we have two different people, and it's not true that the president is going to balance being a member of Brics also with the West. He has to choose which side. That's why it's very difficult at the moment.
And okay, we should be winding up. I'm going to say my last comments and you guys can say your last comments. For me, I would just like to say that the Zambian president is good at giving promises. He has said a lot of things starting from the campaign which have never happened, and he's always giving promises. So for you who's saying the president A, B, C, D, me, I cannot believe whatever the president says until I see it happen. We call him Mubashi promise for a reason. So you can all say your last comments.
Let me say my last comment
for the night. Yeah.
Okay.
Go ahead.
My last comment. Yes. For me, I think the president is trying his best to balance the China issue, the Brics issue, and the USA issue. Why? Because at the moment, the president cannot side with China. Why? Because we still need USA. And the president cannot side with USA because we still need China. If the president never wanted to deal with the Chinese guys, he could not have given the road that is being constructed, the Ndola Lusaka carriageway, to the Chinese guys who are constructing it now. So I feel he's at a stage where he's trying to balance the two powers. I think that's my statement. Secondly, only the Zimbabwe issue, the problem that we have as Zambians is we don't research. So people didn't follow elections and what happened in Zimbabwe, but they'll be busy commenting and blaming about Mumba and HH without understanding what transpired in Zimbabwe. I think that's my last comment.
Thank you. My brother, go ahead.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I've been listening to some comments. Actually, I want to comment about HHC friendship agenda. Actually, our countries, it's very, very difficult to take sides. We are poor. So if you're a good person, you have to be friend to everyone. So that's what HH is trying to do, is a friend to everyone. And if you say we want to be friends only to China, at the end of the day, you suffer. Look here in Zimbabwe, we are saying we are strictly for China and Russia, and you can see the effect. We are still suffering. We have to connect right now. In the during the initial, the coming in of the new, they call it the new, they call it the new administration, right? Under Emerson Mnangagwa, he tried to re-engage the West. So can we say that he was now pro-Western? It's not proper. So by coming, HH coming in, it's good to be friends to everyone. That way you can ascertain that you are going somewhere. You can't be only a puppet, maybe a puppet. You want HH to be a puppet of China, which is wrong in that way. So far, I applaud HH as far as friendship is concerned. Is on the issue of Zimbabwe. Here in Zimbabwe, we are happy about you, Zambians. The way you are doing your things, we are applauding you for that. We are thanking you for HH in the Mumba report. We are saying Zambia is great, but I wonder why you are attacking your own right now. Instead, you should support us. We are behind you. Be also behind us. Check my back and they'll check yours, right? So I think that's the best way to do right now. I agree with this. The other guy, we are saying these boundaries are nothing. We are one. For sure, Africa, we are one. We should be one. How can we divide Africa? Africa is one. So we guys, let's stand for each other. Check each other's back. Roll, scratch my back, I'll scratch yours. Thank you for that.
Thank you so much. I appreciate your coming in and giving us the inside scoop. You know,
yes,
it's
yes,
different.
yes. Right
Like,
now,
we are outsiders. So
yeah,
giving us the inside scoop is helping us understand things for what they really are. But
we are
have our own
Zambia.
problems.
Yeah. Thank you.
Just like you have given us an inside scoop. As Zambians, we also have our own personal problems in Zambia with our president, which you won't understand. Yes. So you can go ahead, my brother there, and close, comrades.
Okay, thank you so much for giving me this opportunity. I just want to let my brother know that as Africa, we are not poor. In fact, we are the richest continent, and these other people, the reason why China, Russia, and America, they are struggling to come in Africa is because they cannot survive without us. What needs to be changed is the type of leaders that we're having. If we can have a president like the young man who is in Burkina Faso, when you follow his statement, if he's going to implement that, it is making a very big sense. If you want oil, come and construct your industry here in Africa, because we have everything. For example, Libya had under Gaddafi, people were getting almost everything for free because of oil. And what happened? They used a fellow African to kill that person. And where is Libya today? They are suffering. So my emphasis is that, yes, let us support each other. We should not most of the time tolerate the West to use us. So thank you so much for the program, and we'll be joining, and as we keep on looking at our own president and the problems that we are seeing. Thank you so much. Good night.
Thank you so much. Thank you. So I just wanted to say that, my brother from Zimbabwe there, he mentioned, our comrade, he mentioned that that HH is doing great in our country. But then, there are few things which our president has done, which the whole region is questioning. Like the SADC region has been against the establishment of AFRICOM in the region, but our president allowed it in Zambia. Right now, there's an AFRICOM base by Americans. So the establishment of AFRICOM base is actually a decision to align yourself to the West, and which is Zambians and the other neighboring countries in the SADC region, they are not happy with this, because Zambia and SADC, they chose to be neutral. Neutral means you don't side with the East or West, but you do business with them. And then the other thing that we as Africans must realize that
We have the wealth. Africa is the motherland, is the cradle of life. Life started in Africa, you know.
Yes.
We have fertile lands. We can feed the whole country. But our land of Africa has been reduced to just a place where resources are taken out and go develop other regions in the world. And our countries are made to believe we are poor, when actually African countries, they are rich, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
The thing is, we
You are right.
have corrupt leaders from
Yes.
since many generations back. Our ancestors, it is like the curse of Africa. Our ancestors from the 1600s, 1700s, they started selling their own children, Africans, into slavery. So that
Yes.
spirit has not ended. You know,
It-
Africans were sold into slavery by our own kings, rulers, and leaders. And now Africans are not being sold into slavery. They are selling our land for a kickback, you know?
Sure.
We have a
That-
history. Some of you were born yesterday. My appeal to you youths is like, research your history. Follow people like Membe. My friend Membe has a lot of history.
Yeah.
Every time that
Yeah.
man speaks,
Yeah.
I learn new things from him. When
Yeah.
you follow history, you appreciate why certain people speak the way they speak. Because there are some people who have come on the political scene and trying to create everything like we are all happy, da-di-da-da, we are all friends, kumbaya, we'll live happily ever after. No, there is a history to what has been happening.
Yeah.
There is a history, and I am urging you, especially young people, understand your history.
Yeah.
Once you understand your history, then you know your true friend and the true enemy.
You are very right. Bamembea, that man, when he's talking, you understand that he knows what he's talking about. He's a true researcher, that man. So yeah, anyway, we'll continue on looking at the things as they come. But as for me, I'm in support of Burkina Faso, Mali, Niger, because they're talking about having the borderless continent. In fact, for Niger, Burkina Faso, they have cancelled the visa thing, which is making sense. So
it's true, like European Union, they have European Union. If you're a member of the European Union, you don't need a passport to travel within Europe.
Yes.
No, but if Zimbabwe was one land, when the scramble of Africa happened,
and those are the same people, the same people that brought the sanction to Zimbabwe. And when we follow critically, when we follow the history of Mugabe, he wanted to liberate people by giving back land to them, what was taken from them.
Yeah? No, but what is happening in Zambia, my brother, you from Zimbabwe, you even have an acre of land there.
Takuri, the problem is me. What I was telling my colleague is that the problem is having brought up in total poverty. Once you are given a Corolla, you think that you have made it.
Yeah.
So you
that
start
is
now.
What we
you
have
stop
to
thinking.
Kill in Africa.
You stop thinking properly and start supporting things that are not making any sense.
Go to your roots and look at what has caused these problems in Africa.
Yes, then you understand.
Yes. So Africa Zambia. So yes. Zimbabwe because these young people, some of these are young people who don't study the history.
Yes.
And some of them, I was watching somebody who was saying Mnangagwa was the freedom fighter alongside Mugabe. He knows everything he's talking.
Yes. In fact, my sister, when you look at this kind of democracy that we have is very dangerous. When you look at how Paul Kagame is developing his country, but for how long has he been in power?
Kagame is a poor country.
But
Kagame bakugonfya kuli abene abakuwest balakugonfya. Kagame takwata kwaba minno nanguyimo kulya. So Kagame afunya ko isafiri efyu male kulire chabo chakwe. Alanta oppress abena Congo.
That one. Arapoka na matraki uli.
Hi, hello.
No, the world order is changing. I am a lip service. You know, we are not going to believe a lip service. Once bitten, twice shy. In a month, umuntu alande fintuna mubelieve. Come on, nafi monafiachitik.
Hi. Hello. Hi, hello. Good evening. How are you doing? Okay. I'm very much delighted that you have added me to your platform today. I just wanted to say that it's very sad to see what's happening in Zimbabwe just now, because the people of Zimbabwe, they definitely voted for the person that they wanted, who is Nelson Chamisa. And unfortunately, the government has definitely made their decision to actually put in a person of their own choice through the gun, scaring people. You know, this has happened several times. But I'm just gonna be honest with you. I think it is important we understand the history of Zimbabwe, that from 1980 to where we are right now, the level of violence that the ZANU-PF government, the soldiers, the police, the security service, that it is shivering down my spine. This is what happens in Zimbabwe. People, they disappear. You talk against the government, you will disappear. And they are taken one by one. I've got friends, I've got families, I've got relatives who have gone through this. And I hear people in other places saying that oh, Zimbabweans, why can't they stand up? You have never been in Zimbabwe. You have never seen the works of the security services out there that are out to get the people. It's unbelievable. I would want to hear from somebody here and have a matured conversation with the people who have got a heart. Some of these people, they are purple-hearted. Their hearts, they've no heart. They've removed their hearts and put dodo, poo-poo, fish. You know, it's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. So to those who are saying congratulations, I don't know what you're congratulating. I'm baffled. How do you feel when you see women being raped? There was a time soldiers went around beating up people and raping up, women, your own women, just literally disrespecting them. It's absolutely unbelievable, guys. I'm telling you. I would like to have a conversation with somebody who think they know that what they're talking about, and we can, my heart is in pain right now. I don't know whether anybody you understand what I'm saying.
I understand what you're saying, comrades. Actually, you know what? I understand what you're saying 100%. Myself, I have family there, and then I also have friends where I live here. They are here. They are here on political asylum from Zimbabwe. But I think, the push back is, this is my opinion. This is just me thinking.
Go on, ma'am. I'm listening.
The whole thing has gone south because Chamisa decided to affiliate with HH. HH right now is pro-West. And you have seen the movement that is going on in Africa right now. There is a new world order. African countries are going against the West because they have been our colonizers.
Ma'am, can we have a conversation? Can we converse? I just want to ask, you said because Chamisa has decided to align with HH, what does that have to do with the democracy of people, the voting system itself?
So it has nothing to do with the democracy of the people, okay. But my point is, let me explain. My point is, if people say that you are trying to go back to partner with the West, when the same West put sanctions on Zimbabwe for so long, we are talking two different things here. You are talking to say there is no democracy. And that is for sure, we condemn it. ZANU PF should not be violent. ZANU PF should facilitate fair and free elections. All this thing, killing people and all the harsh things, nobody can tolerate that. That is another topic. But then the other topic here, which is a bone of contentions, is people are saying Chamisa aligning himself with the HH, who is the HH now is considered to be a puppet of the West. And then the West are the people who have sanctions against your country. You see how that is coming into play?
I understand you and I hear that sentiments.
Mister,
let me learn.
Sorry to interrupt you. Sorry to interrupt you.
I was gonna say this, then you can learn.
How do you depend on someone who have put so much sanctions in your country? That is our point. Please.
Okay, I hear you. I'll answer you say. Let me tell you one thing. You have mentioned that Chamisa is aligned to people who are bringing sanctions to this, and actually there's no evidence to that. But I want to show you what I've got evidence about.
Please.
Do you know that as the moment as we speak, the Zimbabwean government is trying very hard to get into the Commonwealth? They are literally fighting to get into the Western system that you're talking about. Do you know that? Please. Answer yes or no.
Somehow, yes.
No, it's not because of the sanction, ma'am. Let's you know what, I like to I'm a true African as it gets. I am a pan-Africanist. I will go back with you to history so that you can understand. And do you know that also Emerson Mnangagwa, he enjoys and flaunt pictures celebrating that he has had the picture of taking photos with the President of America. When he came to the United Kingdom, he had the privilege of being with the King of America. He actually loved of England. He loves to be among the Western people.
It was, but for now, you've run out of that idea because of one thing. He's tired of begging. That's why now we've moved to Russia and China. Trust me, this Africa is no longer belongs to America. If you are in Zimbabwe, and let me advise you one thing. If you are in Zimbabwe, keep that government safe. Trust me.
Okay.
Don't bring problems in Africa.
You know, my brother.
Those people, they will never develop our country. Imagine for how many years have we been with those people?
I am against to go to the Westerns. I'm against to go to the Westerns. I'm against to go to the Easterns. Because a Pan-African idea that I have of the original Munumutapa Empire, the Rosary Empire that stretched from Tanzania all the way to Zimbabwe, South Africa. We are self-sufficient. We have got minerals and everything it takes for us to be successful without Russia, without China, or without UK. So please, don't sell me this East Europe, Russia bullshit. It's for people who does not know their true roots of African undiluted, unperverted strength.
Russia actually assisted some of us to get even independence. If you don't know, Do you know that?
Of course.
Do you know that some of I don't want to mention some names. Some of our readers have missed an opportunity few weeks ago where Russia cancelled some dates.
Yeah.
Zero dates. Are you aware of that?
Where are you from, my brother? Where are you from?
Now they went very late. Now they are even not recognized. You don't know.
Where are you from, my brother? Where are you from? Where are you from?
Africa.
No.
Within Africa.
I mean, which country are you from?
Within Africa. Don't worry.
We are on social media. Let's not get personal. Let's just talk. Because in talking, we'll find our own answers.
No. I just want to know the country. Look, we are mentioning Zambia. We're mentioning Zimbabwe. So why are you shy to mention the country that you are from?
Zambia.
So be a proud Zambian, my brother. Be a proud Zambian. Why are you embarrassed?
He's not embarrassed. People are like you are saying, people are disappearing. Like on my page here, people don't even make comments on my page. If you make a comment on the page, there are people we call praise singers. They'll follow you. Some have been threatened with their jobs. Some have been warned to say, If you comment against HH, we are going to do A, B, C, D. So we have our own problems here in Zambia.
Okay, you know what? I understand, and I was here to also learn from you.
Mhm.
And that's why that's why I say to you, it is wrong for any country that has got its own sovereignty to depend upon against the West and also to against the East and the South, because what you call it, Russia and China. Because do you understand what the Chinese have done, guys? To be honest with you, even in Zimbabwe itself, we have lost quite a lot, not only of minerals, the embarrassment they are bringing upon our people. This subject, you know, you guys, I wish you could
And
understand
I
what's going on.
like you, you know what? I like you, comrades, because we are facing the same problems as Africans. And this is why we need to unite with one voice. You know?
Sorry, we need to have
We
a
are
conversation.
facing the same problems. There is a guest here. Let me give you the floor. But before I give you the floor, I want to read a comment from Kelvin. Kelvin says that people need to be awakened against imperialism via divide and rule tactics, dehumanizing our sovereignty. Let us all fight bad policymakers, sellouts from secret societies, pulling strings behind the scenes to destroy national sovereignty. So I think this comment describes what we are fighting here, but these same people, they are pulling strings and they are appearing holy. When they come in public, they are appearing holy. These are the tactics.
You know, ma'am,
written about how to divide and rule.
I'm reading comments in the comment section. I don't know what this is my first time to be on your page. Let me make this comment. I love you, my precious sister. Oh, sorry, my brother. I'm a visitor. Sorry, my brother. I'm gonna go down now.
We're talking the two of you. We need also to add our views.
I know.
Go ahead, my brother. If you have something to share, go ahead.
Okay. So my sister was saying, it's my first time to be on your page. You are absolutely beautiful. You are gorgeous. You are a true representative of an African queen. But just reading the comments that are coming from most of the people who are writing here, I've got a sentiment that apparently you hate Hichilema. I don't know much about Hichilema. I don't know why people think that. I can see apparently I've got deep hatred for Hichilema. I don't know. But what I want to say here, my precious sister, what is happening in Zambia is different from what is happening in Zimbabwe. Totally different. I'm a Pan-Africanist, my precious sister. And my brother who have come in, I'm going to drop here, and I'm going to stop here and allow you to speak. Thank you for your patience. Datokoza Kombili. Thank you very, very much, brother and sister.
Shamwari, you're welcome, Shamwari. Shamwari, you're welcome, Shamwari. Whatever is happening in Zimbabwe is nothing wrong. Baba, nothing wrong in Zimbabwe. Zimbabwe is very right.
Our leadership and politics.
In Zimbabwe, Shamwari is everything is 100%. Nothing is happening.
Okay.
Don't talk you about
go
your
ahead,
country.
Go ahead.
Let me add my view. I've been following this debate, of course, many times. Actually, on the other general social media, I've been following the debate of us Africans trying to be independent. I've seen a lot of, organizations claiming that this is the right time for Africa to be independent. Of course, I choose to disagree. I'm not talking about particular countries like Zambia, Zimbabwe, or whatever. I'm talking about it generally. I think the issue here is tricky in the sense that, our forefathers, when they were trying to join hands with European countries and all those, great nations, I think there's one thing that they missed. I think they didn't look at the future the way we are seeing it now. So the issue here is it's not like us being independent, that will never work because of one reason. The same people that we are saying they should be out of our lives, we are using their English, mind you. Number two, we are also owing them, okay? And then maybe number three, whatever the technology we are using, these phones we are using are coming from them. It's their technology. And then we want them out. So it is not practically possible at the moment. What we need to do as Africans, we are supposed first of all to build our own base of our development, build our own base of our culture and everything. That's when we can pull out from those guys. In short, we are trapped. So for us to come out, let's not lie to one another. This is practically impossible. We are using their languages. Let's drop their English. Let's drop their technology, drop everything, and begin to move in the direction that we believe we can move. But I want to tell you that according to the principles of God, the world was created as a global village. You cannot isolate yourself. The Bible says it's not good for a man to be alone. Sorry, I'm not trying to preach, but I think this is the truth of the matter. We cannot be alone. Let's just unite whichever way and move on. Of course, there is an issue of exploitation. Okay, that one can be dealt with at an appropriate time. But for now, Africa cannot be independent. We are trapped. We are owing them. Let's give them their money back. At the moment, we are all calling for debt relief, and then at the same time we are saying we can pull out. It's not possible. I think this is some kind of madness that our great people that lived those days, sorry to say that, they've trapped us. We are trapped. Thank you.
I beg to differ with you. I don't think anyone has trapped us. We have trapped ourselves. Like right now, if you look at what is happening right now, we have discovered a lot of minerals. And what is happening to those new minerals? They are in the hands of private investors, local and foreign. There is a sugilite in Zambia, 30-ton truck of sugilite disappeared, worth almost $1 billion US. Where is that money? So Africa, we are our own enemy. Our leaders are our own enemy. We need to clean house. We need patriotic leaders who can manage our resources. God has continued blessing Zambia with new mines. Before we even talk about KCM and the other mines which are sold, there are new mines being discovered every day. But what is happening? Our current leaders are putting those mines in a few private hands. And a few people are eating on top of poor. Zambians. And I just want to say, those of you who are saying here, I hate HH. I don't hate HH. I just don't lies. Some of you, you are okay with someone lying to you. Me, I'm not okay for someone to lie to me, especially a head of state. People are being arrested for a simple lie, but we have seen our head of state get away with lies with no apologies. And I detest that. So if you're going to call me crazy, I don't care. But I am not going to accept or praise sheer lies. And to end my statement, I am going to quote Murphy's Law. And Murphy's Law says you can fool some people all the time, and you can also fool all the people sometime. But is enough is enough. So let's be clear on that, to say some of you can be fooled all the time and some can be fooled sometimes, but it's enough. There is an exception of people who cannot be fooled. There is an exception who can see through the lies. And when we see through the lies, we are not haters, we are just real. And I thank all my Zimbabwean counterparts for coming to share whatever you are going through. I think Zambia, we went through the same under PF, and then UPND has come to do the same things when they promise change. And you who is saying that I am lying, that people are threatened on my page here. I can even send you screenshots. People who have become my friends and followers, they inbox me to say, Madam, we follow your page. But you know what? I was attacked by a praise singer. They told me to stop commenting on your page. They want all the comments that these people, they are paid money by a few politicians or leaders to come and comment negative things about me. Zambia is a democracy. You Dawn must accept that people like me will always be there. If I am not here today, somebody like me will come and speak against your policies by New Dawn. So in my praise singer, it's high time you smell the coffee and deal with it. That not everybody is going to agree with you. We are a democracy. You can insult all you want, call me names all you want. All I can tell you is you are lost. There are a million pages on social media. Go and follow those pages where you like what you are hearing. I end here. I'll add my last guest and then that will be it. Yes. So if you can go ahead, comrade. The floor is yours.
Good evening, my sister and your audience.
Good evening. You're welcome. Go ahead.
Can you hear me, please?
Loud and clear.
I thank you so much for the wonderful opportunity to engage with fellow Africans on this hottest topic of freedom of expression, freedom of association, freedom of movement, freedom of discussion, and the freedom of living. You see, the first part of entry is to live before you can engage with someone. However, the main challenge we have is in Africa is this messiahship kind of leadership we have. Everyone has got his own shortcomings. Even Kwame Nkrumah had his own shortcomings. Even Julius Kambarage Nyerere had his own shortcomings. Even Robert Mugabe had his own shortcomings, not to mention Kenneth Kaunda, not to mention even Nelson Mandela had his own shortcomings. So the problem is that whenever we have a leadership, a leader whom we praise so much and we forget that he is all human, at the end of the day, we always have we end up cornered into these things of asking. So if you were saying he's all right, what happened? Now we have a problem, right? The challenge, anyway, I'm talking to you from Pretoria.
From Pretoria, good to see you.
Yeah, as an economic migrant from Zimbabwe. Why are you mentioning Malema? Malema is.
Are you with Julius Malema?
No, I can't be with Malema. I'm cornered in my own room, and I was so happy to hear live main comments from fellow Africans. You see, the problem is now we are focused on Zimbabwe election, which is already disputed. So for the challenge which we have is that there is a group we think that anyone who is associated with America is bad. Anyone who is associated with Russia is bad. There are good things which come with America. There are good things which come with Britain. There are good things which come with China. But there are also, so it's not a problem. We have to agree to differ. That is humanity. That is Ubuntu, like your group mentions. As long as you say, let's suffocate the truth, let's suffocate the honesty, let's suffocate the reality, then already we are becoming a slavery trade kind of a platform. So let people be free to express whatever they think. Anyway, what do you think? My sister, tell me, what do you give? Do you agree that Emerson Mnangagwa was legitimately elected as the president of the Republic of Zimbabwe? What's your take on that one? On this election of Zimbabwe? Be honest.
To be honest, I don't really know if it was genuine or not.
No.
I don't really know.
My sister, wait. You see, before I get an answer from you, what I'm asking, I'm not demanding, I'm begging. Be truthful.
You know, truthfully,
Yeah.
to be
And
honest with you, truthfully, I think he was elected genuinely.
That is your opinion.
And you know why I think so.
No, I don't know.
Because the Chamisa is identifying with the West, and the West, they have caused so much pain and suffering to Zimbabwe through their sanctions. So I think depending on the type of voters, if all the voters went to the polls, then they elected Mnangagwa back. That is what I think.
Like what sanctions? In what sense when you talk of sanctions? How much do you understand about the targeted sanctions to the people of Zimbabwe individually? Because it's not a collective.
Sanctions, economic.
Very good. There are no economic sanctions on Zimbabwe. Zimbabwe can trade freely with any country. Do you know that a week before elections, European Union actually donated dozens of big cars to the government of Zimbabwe? Do you know that?
No, I don't know.
I can see you are too thirsty. Drink the water, then you answer me. Do you know what happened? Why did the Zimbabwean government agreed to receive those cars from the imperialists? Because it's strictly from European Union. Why?
No, but you know what? Okay, this is
no.
just
Tell me
comment.
what you want me to know.
You know what? The money, the wealth has taken from Africa to Europe, so Africa should receive everything because it's their wealth. This is my opinion. How much, like right now, how much money is in Africa? See what is happening in Nigeria, in West Africa. All the wealth is going to Europe. So if the European Union donate, that is African money coming back.
Sorry, my brother. Can I come in? May you allow me to come in?
I'll let you talk. You guys can talk.
No. Allow me. Chimbo, mira wangu. My precious sister. You were asked a question regarding sanctions, about how much do you know about sanctions?
Yes.
And you have been told that there is no...
Me, I don't know. So educate me. All I know is that there are some economic sanctions. I don't know if they are current or they are past, but there were some sanctions. So you can educate me.
Typical propaganda from ZANU-PF.
So you see now, we are here to educate you.
All these allied, my sister, the allied from Emerson Mnangagwa and his entourage, all their sons and daughters, they are in America right now. Chris Tofa Mutswangwa has been in America. His kids, they are in America. And when
United Kingdom,
you know what? My brothers. Let me say something. This is good that we are all out here talking, because one of the tactics of the West is divide and rule. So when we come on a platform like this and we speak, then we are on the same level.
My sister, don't come here with propaganda. We need to engage you with real facts. These people who are lying about sanctions, all their people, they've got lavish homes in the West, in Dubai, using our minerals. We have got gold mafia. People who actually in Zimbabwe have got this we say Makorokoza. Emerson Mnangagwa is the chief head of Makorokoza, whereby he is actually dealing in gold smuggling, illegally taking our minerals elsewhere in the middle of the night. He has got a one called Henrietta, and Rushawaya was caught at the airport with 10 kg gold, which was never accounted by MMCZ of Zimbabwe, of which it translates to a fact that no money is channeled through the RBZ or the mineral of Zimbabwe. And now you are coming to us with that cheap propaganda to say that there is the West. The West has done so much. They built schools. Actually, the university which we have in Zimbabwe was built by Ian Smith from Britain. Actually, the biggest bridge which we have in Zimbabwe was built through under the colonial period, if there was any colonial period. Even when you want to tell me of revolution, there was never a revolution. It was just a mere whereby people, boys and girls, were playing in the bush because they never brought anything. Zimbabwe never won the independence through a barrel of the gun. They went to Lancaster House to negotiate the settlement. So actually, for one to come to us and tell us about revolution, we ask ourselves, why is that Mnangagwa is still crying so hard to go to be re-engaged into the Commonwealth? Because that is voluntary.
My brother, may you allow me? My precious sister, my precious sister, let me tell you the situation in Zimbabwe right now. In 1985, Zimbabweans, they owned 92% of the land. But now the Chinese, they own 2/3 of the land through mines. All the mines have been given. If I know the places that is called Boera, Manica land going into Mozambique, all that has been taken by the Chinese. I'm talking about the lithium mines. I'm talking about the tantalite mines. Everything is literally going. If you are a Zimbabwean, I'm one of the people who lost a mine which was taken from me and re-registered, given to a Chinese. I am a son of the soil who had the rights to mine, the equipment, equally the money and everything else. So how patriotic is the people in my government that gives them the right to take land to mine that are mining and give it to a Chinese person whose child, who is not even born in China, is going to rule after my children? That is very painful. The issue of sanctions that you're mentioning, if I may be honest without being disrespectful, my precious sister, it is, you don't understand it, and I would not talk about it if you don't understand. And like I'm saying, this is very respectful, very, very respectful. The sanctions that you are talking about in Zimbabwe, they are targeted against individuals who have spilled the blood of Zimbabweans. You know, imagine you have got someone killing you and your family and everyone else, and they are put on sanctions targeted not to the whole country. No, it's individuals. And the impact of it has got nothing to do on the GDP of the country. Zimbabwe right now is exporting to UK, is exporting to Europe, is exporting to America. The ZANU-PF people have got farms, mines, minerals that they're exporting to the very same Europe that they are saying that there is sanctions.
There are
and
sanctions.
I want you to understand, there's a guy who's called Benson Matinyare. He is the chief propaganda for sanction, and he is actually exporting to UK blackberries that people buy here from his farm in South Africa. Even though he's Zimbabwean, he talks about these sanctions that you are hearing. So my precious sister, all I'm just asking, I wish I could sit down. I don't know whether you're married or not. I would love to marry you so that I can sit down and educate you. I'll come and take you from your husband.
No, the comrade is out of order. Now
Anyway, comrades, order in the house, order in the house. You can bring animals. If you have animals, you can bring them. I can be a polygamist.
Yes.
Yeah, no. Yes. If you want to propose, you can't use our data to propose to a woman.
Yeah, but
anyway,
let's wind down. I gotta go. But I just want to say, you are shooting me down. I just want to clarify that I am not speaking from ignorance. What I'm speaking is what is on the internet. Let me finish. I'm speaking what is on the internet. So you coming here to explain it. You are educating all of us, and this is what we need. Because it's not me spreading propaganda. There are people who are spreading propaganda. So when I come and say that, you have done well to come here and educate us. So now we all know. That's why don't share such programs. When
You know,
I am saying something,
Let me
you
tell you,
tell the truth. I'm not spreading
sanctions,
propaganda. I am saying what is
sanctions.
online.
Okay,
Yeah.
sanctions are real and they can cause devastating effect. But these
The
sanctions
Bible
they talk
says
about.
it's only the truth that, and if you know the truth and you do what is right, the truth shall set you free. Right. The number one challenge which we have in Africa is lack of information. If you don't have information, or the information dissemination is accurately misplaced. So under those circumstances, you find that even you, I heard you were saying Comrade HH is problematic. I want to get the sense, how is he being problematic? Because in Southern Africa, for us as Zimbabweans, even here in South Africa, we see a very little, very minimal number of Zambians, because all the Zambians who are here, they've migrated back home because their country is actually on the right path of, prosperity. So educate us how Comrade HH is a problem to Zambia within a very short period.
I went to Russia.
That is a story for another day. But I can just ask you to follow my channel. They have a lot of videos on my channel and YouTube. You can learn a lot about the current political situation.
What do you think about Joseph Kalimbe? What about Joseph, this young man? What's your take on him?
On who?
Joseph
Kalimbe.
Who is that? Joseph Kalimbe.
So
you pretending
that
this
is
one.
the biggest problem, my sister. You don't know what is happening in your background, but you want to talk much about what happens in
Zimbabwe.
Million miles away from
I
you.
wasn't talking about your country. I was just my take. What I was talking about Zimbabwe is the elections.
The election.
Yes, and we have talked about it. It's over. I played a few videos from your people, what they were saying.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. We don't want to seem like we are suppressing or we are being femicide. Yeah. But what we want you to understand is that there is a vibrant young man who is a Pan-Africanist, in a rising star in your own home ground, and you have to celebrate or help him to go to achieve his goals as a good Pan-Africanist. That is Joseph Kalimbe. That young man is actually doing wonders for Africa, and he comes from the party of Comrade HH, and Comrade HH inherited a very devastating or a dilapidated economy of Zambia, and he actually is competing.
You're also preaching propaganda because you don't know. See, so you also are being fed lies over there.
I'm not. You see, money is traded on
you are
on
also
the chart.
You are those what you're talking about is lies.
How is the Kwacha of Zambia right now?
You are, see, that's what we are saying. We need it. We Africans, you and me, listen to me. Listen to me.
Good.
We are on this platform to share notes. We are not here to point fingers. Right now, what you're doing, yes. Right now, what you're doing, you are trying to make me look like I don't know what I'm doing.
No,
and that's the problem of Africa. You always
my sister, may you allow me? My sister, may you allow me to talk?
So you are here now to attack me. That's why Africa will go nowhere. Because every time Africans,
this conversation is going where I don't like. This conversation is going where I don't like. What I prefer to say, my sister, is this. In Africa, that I prefer, It's an Africa that does not have any borders. An Africa where I can walk into Zambia. An Africa that I can walk into any country without any problems. The toxicity that we have at the moment as African is very shocking. And my precious sister, you know what you have created, this page is very powerful. But I encourage you to have an open mind when you are having conversations with people. And
thank you.
Wait, don't laugh, my brother. It will make us look bad. We are here with our queen here. I see this whenever I see an African woman.
Want to propose and talk with you serious.
No, we are here with the queen. Leave the queen alone. You know, the thing I like, the thing I like about this lady, she speaks her mind, and also she's got a team that is behind supporting her. But what we have to understand, my sister, the thing that I don't condone is a leader that spills his own blood. As you know, when you see our leaders spilling blood of people, like the men in Zambia, has anyone ever killed over 20,000 people in one go in Zambia? Is your president ever killed more than 20,000 people? Yeah.
Post-independence.
No. Okay. There is a place in Matebele land, my precious sister. Maybe you've heard about this. I'm a Pan-African. I don't like democracy because democracy does not put our kings in their rightful place like we used to have properly. Democracy is, but our, you know what, my sister, let me go. I'm gonna look for you. And remember, I said your husband should treat you well because I'm coming. You know, I am definitely coming, my sister. Mira,
Zimbabwe, we are one.
Yes,
we are one.
We are.
I've been to Bulawayo, I've been to Harare. You know, I have family there.
Let me conclude.
Yeah.
Let me conclude with this before I go.
Yeah.
Let me conclude. Then I go. I have been to over 40 countries, and some of them where you won't even find a black person, but the only person you find there is a Zimbabwean. You say Makadi, and you say Tiripo Makadiwo. We are so dispersed by this government of ours. How can we have there's this visa that's coming in at the UK called Nurse Aid? Everyone in Zimbabwe, even the military, the police, even the sons of the president, they are doing the Nurse Aid to run away to go and be carers in the UK. How can you lead a country up until everyone is actually running away and you call that patriotism? My sister, I don't know. Maybe you've got a thing with HH, I don't know. But as for Zimbabwean issue, I beg, it's not patriotism. It's butcher. That's happening in Zimbabwe, my sister. This one, trust me. And those other brothers, the Kelvin ones, and the Kelvin and Silas Signoro and Silas Nyirongo, I think they are lovers. I know they support you, but I think those two, they need a bedroom. Good night, my precious sister, and may you kindly enjoy the rest of your evening. Mwangu waita bas, pisa munu, chimsoro bangu chibudu.
Okay, you know, this has been a Zimbabwean night. Thank you for watching. Thank you. You know, I think African, we are one, you know. We are one, and let's just share notes. Our leaders, they divide and rule us, you know.
Yes.
They are pulling strings behind this, the scene. So I think, you know, the earlier we realize it, the better. Like we Africans, it doesn't matter, Zambia, Zimbabwe, we are facing problems in different forms. But they are saying
actually we've got a common problem as Africa.
Yeah, we are
the
common problem. It doesn't matter, you know, the common enemies and the common solution. We have a common denominator.
The common denominator is that,
yeah,
you know, the biggest problem with us Africans is the inferiority complex, whereby as long as you don't take yourself you take yourself as a slave, as a poor person, as an inheritance, obviously, and at the end of the day, there is this saying which goes, it's a pleasure of a hawk when the locusts are fighting. So we are being feasted on as because by the East, whether it's East or it's West or Center, I don't care. But as long as we are not taking our center stage as the at a dinner stage, like our Professor Lumumba would say, we come to the dinner table as waiters or as guests. The problem is that as long as we don't consider ourselves as superhuman beings, we will always go around with the powers of begging from the, whether it's from Chinese, whether it's Russia. Look at our leaders when they go there. They are not considered as presidents. They go there as beggars. So the problem is that when we can, the day we unite Africa, these people will start to respect us. These countries are too small for us. These nations are too small for us. But the problem is that we always fight. There is a stampede to join Brics. What is Brics for us? Well, there is a stampede to join Commonwealth. What is Commonwealth? Is a voluntary slavery to the former colonial masters by the free countries. So what? The other thing I was asking my sister, who didn't answer me. How is the Zambian kwacha doing? Because in Zimbabwe we don't even have currency.
Yeah, it's doing worse. It's doing bad. But anyway, thank you, my brother. We'll join some other day and talk. Thank you for joining me. Thank you, followers. Follow, like, share. See you soon.
Thank you very much.
God
enjoy your night.
Bless you. Yeah, the kwacha is doing bad. It's worse. Very bad.